Macca's Guides.
Hey everyone, Mackie here playing Doom the Dark Ages 100% walkthrough. Let's continue now with Mission 8, and as soon as we start, let's pin some mission challenges. I'd recommend pinning Bone Collector, which is for getting 100 ammo loot drops from meleeing enemies. This one's really hard, and you'll actually have to focus on it for quite a bit of the mission. If you notice me ever just shooting blank space, it's because I'm trying to waste ammo specifically so that when I melee an enemy, I get more ammo pickups. Also, I'll pin Knockout, which is for using your shield charge ability on an enemy that is dazed or in that kind of like purple phase. So instead of meleeing an enemy that's dazed, we are going to use our shield charge to take them out, and we'll have to do that at least 5 times. There's also a mission challenge for parrying Revenant attacks, although that's going to be really easy and come pretty naturally as long as you're paying attention. So from the start of the mission, go ahead and walk forward, keep to the right hand side so that you find a small path that jumps over the path in the middle, and along that path you will find a couple of pieces of gold, and then you'll drop down into a small battle. There will be a couple of pretty basic enemies before we navigate to the corner of the area where we'll be able to drop an arena gate, and then after that arena gate we'll be able to make our way towards the yellow keycard. Now, because of the mission challenges and having to try to make as much ammo as possible, I will be purposely playing in a way that may appear as though I'm very bad at the game, and I may be very bad at the game, but just keep in mind I will be kind of shooting into blank space very often. Here you'll notice that I have a dazed enemy, and then I will use my shield dash to get progress towards the 1 out of 5 for knockout. As I approach that gate that I mentioned earlier, it will spawn a whiplash. If I'm not mistaken, this is our first instance of this enemy type, which was very common in Doom Eternal, and it works very similarly. It is like a very quick moving kind of snake, and it will do a lot of long range attacks with a whip chain. I'd recommend just parrying when possible, as with all enemies, trying to close the distance when possible, and just using something that can output a large amount of damage very quickly. With the enemies taken out and the gate opened, I'd always recommend in this mission specifically, do not pick up any ammo until we have Bone Collector finished off. You should be at least at 10 out of 100, and then you can drop down and navigate towards the keycard. Keycard is a mandatory part of progression for this mission, and here again, I'm trying to slowly pepper the enemy into a dazed phase, and then I can quickly use my shield charge in order to get more progress towards knockout. So if you feel like I'm really taking my time, that's why I'm purposely trying to get enemies into the dazed phase. Pick up the yellow keycard that should open the gate and then link you back into the area we were in before. But now that we're linked back into this area, more enemies will spawn. One of the enemies being a Revenant. Now this Revenant really tried to hide behind every possible tree and rock, especially with some of its parryable attacks just kind of hitting things that I didn't want it to hit. But you do want to parry the Revenant at least 3 times. There will be another 3 or 4 Revenants in the mission, but there is a mission challenge specifically for parrying projectiles, and you'll want to make sure you grab it. This is one of the slightly longer arenas so far in the game. There will be a bunch of whiplashes as well, and I believe this fight culminates in a Mancubus Enforcer, which is the enemy type that has the kind of blue flag, which will empower other enemies nearby. So once you take out enough enemies, that thing will spawn. We'll want to take out its shield using either parries or other attacks, then shield off that shield, and once that's ready, you should be able to quickly, hopefully, take it out after not too much trouble. And then once all of the enemies are taken out, you'll be able to leave via the only exit door that is currently blocked off. Hopefully you do a little bit better at this fight than I do, although we are on that normal difficulty. There's a couple fights where I just end up struggling for one reason or another. I think it's usually because of the close range enemies attacking me, while the far range enemies are just kind of peppering me from far away, but it's up to you. My only real recommendation is to use a lot of weapon variety. Using a lot of weapon variety will allow you to melee enemies that drop ammo, and then the more ammo types you need, the more progress you will get towards Bone Collector. Now I have completed the Revenant Parry Mission Challenge as well as the Knockout Mission Challenge. You'll have many more opportunities to complete those. For Bone Collector, I'm personally at 33 out of 100. You should hopefully be at around 25 or more. We're only at 1 out of 11 secrets. We don't have a lot of gold, but we can now go through the gate. And as we do, there will be quite a few things in front of us. Here I will be wasting some ammo on purpose so that when I melee an enemy coming up, I will be able to get more progress towards Bone Collector. There'll be a couple of Hell Knights and as well as a large enemy at the end. So we'll take out all of these enemies, and once they are taken care of, there's a lot of collectibles in this little area that doesn't look like one of those areas that will have a lot of collectibles, but there's a lot of things to grab on the left, on the right. There's some backtracking to do and a couple of enemies in front of us as well. With the enemies no longer bothering us, from where we entered into the area, walk forward about halfway, and on the left-hand side, you'll notice a gate, and you should be able to drop down, finding a path underneath. If you follow this path, you'll go through a bunch of small gold pickups. It'll curve underneath the platform we were on earlier. You can then drop down, and as you drop down, there's a couple of enemies here. We can work on Bone Collector with them if we want. You'll find a secret area where you can start swimming to the end of the area. The thing you want to keep in mind is when you reach the end of the area, you want to turn around and look up behind you. As you do that, you may notice that there is a clamberable wall. Run up that wall in order to find about 10 more stacks of mini gold, and we'll pick that up before we use the man cannon to link us back to where we came from. Once you're back up here, you will be able to grab a ruby. There is a Hell Knight here, which is just incredibly annoying that it knocked me back down into the hole. But take your time with the Hell Knight. It is very close combat, so maybe something like a super shotgun would be pretty helpful there, but I didn't think ahead. I did grab the ruby, though, and then that ruby allows me to now basically link back to the main path using this superheated metal latch, and then continue along the path towards our objective. I will purposely waste some ammo here so that the next melee I do produces more ammo stacks for me for Bone Collector. So again, that's just an easy way to grind it out. You can also reload your last checkpoint, and it should keep progress towards your mission challenges. So some people like to grind out mission challenges by just restarting their checkpoints. At the end of the walkway, there will be some shielded enemies. Take them out and then hook around to the right-hand side. Shield bash your way through the wall in order to reveal a secret area with a Codex page inside. We'll make sure to grab that before we move on around the corner. Here are a couple more enemies. We can quickly get some melees, work towards Bone Collector. By the time we reach the Sentinel Shrine in front of us, I'd highly recommend you're at least 40 or 50 towards Bone Collector. A lot of new, more enemy types here. You can work on that knockout by using that shield charged on a dazed enemy. Take out any shielded enemies. There's a Mancubus, a Pinky Rider as well, and then you'll grapple across the gap.
down after the attack, but the forge still had power. The demons are drawn.
Once across the gap, you'll want to drop down on the right-hand side. There's a little bit of a path here, but it does end in a cliff. As you drop down the cliff, turn around and look behind you. You'll be able to shield dash through a wall, revealing a gold chest inside for an extra 50 gold, as well as a secret area. There are a couple of rock imps. There is a revenant here that we will want to parry, and there's also a whiplash that is actively hitting me from behind, which is crazy annoying. But take out all of the enemies here and use a lot of weapon variety if possible. As we approach the Sentinel Shrine, I end up at 68 out of 100. For the Bone Collector, I'd recommend you're at 50 at least. For Secrets, we're at 4 out of 11. We're also at 77 gold and 1 of 2 rubies. And we have 1 collectible, which is the Codex page. At the Sentinel Shrine, you can obviously purchase whatever you want. Personally, I will be purchasing the last shield upgrade, which allows me to unlock an achievement or trophy. Now, some people have reported a glitch where the shield achievement called Berserker doesn't end up unlocking. I think the reports are very overblown, and there is a patch coming soon, so I don't think it's something the average person should worry about at all. After the Sentinel Shrine, work towards your objective. There is a pretty large battle here. A couple of Revenants. I believe there is an Enforcer as well. It may be an Enforcer Revenant. A couple Pinky Riders. Once you take everything out, the Gore portal will get destroyed, and that will be our way out of this area. And we're going to be working quite a bit towards Bone Collector here where possible, as this is the longest arena, I believe, in this entire mission. It's very possible to get 30, 40, or even 50 pieces of ammo to drop as you play, as long as you have a decent amount of weapon variety. So we have gotten a demonic essence upgrade. We've pretty much maxed out the Bone Collector mission challenge as well. Hopefully you're getting closer and closer. But as we finish everything off, The kind of doors will open up, and our objective is to hop on a turret on this kind of castle, use that turret to blow open a door. Going to temporarily ignore that as there's so many collectibles and secret areas in here. So from where we entered, if you were to drop down and go to the right, there's a small path up a hill with a couple pieces of health. And then at the top of that hill, you'll be able to find a superheated metal latch that when you hit it, it will drop down and create a hole in the ground. You can then drop down into that hole in order to reveal a secret. There are a few enemies in here which you can work towards Bone Collector if you want, but once you get past those enemies, go to the end of the hall and then jump up on the ledge, and I believe there is a gold chest at the end. Knock open that gold chest, it opens the gate as well, and then once you exit back out through that gate, turn to the right-hand side, look up, and as you look up, you may notice a green kind of grapple point. That's what we're going to aim for, and to do that, kind of in the middle here, there is a wall we can climb. At the top of that wall, you can grapple over. I'll quickly show you the auto map just so you can see where I am if you are a little lost. But do a sprint jump and then a grapple. Here you'll end up at a secret, which I'm going to show you because it is a secret. There's a couple of rock imps up here, but the only thing here is a life sigil, which you may or may not need. In the effort of being thorough, I will show it. Then what we can do is we can drop down facing the cliff. As we face the cliff, go to the left, and here you'll find another path. This one goes kind of down low, and the only reason that we can see these collectibles here, depending on your difficulty and other things, is because of our proximity to them now. As we go down this path, there are a few pieces of gold. I'll be wasting some ammo here on purpose in order to work towards Bone Collector, and we now have Bone Collector done. It's not something I will worry about for the rest of the mission, but we do have some more enemies coming up later. There will be some environmental flame traps as we come around the corner. Watch out for those. We'll find a secret area where there is a collectible caged in the middle. Use the superheated latch above the tree in the corner. That'll reveal an energy node. Use your shield on the energy node to open up the cage. Time it with the fire in order to not get damaged. Here you'll find a collectible toy, which is the witch. From there, we can link back using the pieces of gold to end up back in the area we were in before. There is a quick Hell Knight, which is easily dispatched via a parry if you need to. Hopefully you have all of the mission challenges almost done, if not completely done by now. As you exit out, turn slightly to your left and walk forward. You'll notice that there is a hanging wall, which can be lowered via a shield throw at a latch, which is behind a spinning wheel that has a hole in it. So just time your throw to allow that wall to come down and then head up that wall. There's a lot of collectibles to grab before we interact with our mission objective. So climb up the wall, up the stairs, and to your left, you'll be able to drop down a small ledge on the side of this building to find 2 stacks of 8 gold. And then we can hop back up on that wall. Do not interact with the turret quite yet. To the left of that turret, there are a couple of floating platforms with 3 gold each. And then at the end of that gold path, you'll be able to find a ruby. So make sure you pick up all that gold and the ruby as well. There is still some more gold coming up, but for the time being, I'm going to quickly interact with the main objective, which is that turret, in order to break open that wall. It'll just save us some time so we don't have to come back up here after we grab the last piece of gold before we leave. So with the wall taken out, let's drop down and look kind of behind us over our left shoulder. And as we do that, head towards the cliff's edge. As we do that, we can drop down and find another ledge here. And while we're in this corner, we can find a metal latch. We'll blow it open with our shield, finding 2 stacks of 8 gold inside. And this will also spawn a whiplash. And for this one, I was ready using my cycler and a couple of attacks, and we can quickly dispatch it, making sure we pick up that gold before we leave towards our objective marker. As we leave, I will open up my auto map for a quick check, and we are at 9 out of 11 secrets, 179 gold, 2 rubies. We have our demonic essence and both of our collectibles as well. Let's go ahead and move on if you have matching stats. If not, take a quick look at what you might have missed, although if you missed like 5 pieces of gold, it's not a huge deal. You should have some leftover gold by the end of the walkthrough. As you come to this cliff's edge, it will be tempting to charge the enemies in front of you. Instead, drop down, look behind you as you drop down, finding a secret area and 16 more gold. Only now should you shield charge the enemies in front of you. Work towards any mission challenges if you got any to do, and then just move towards the elevator at the end of the path.
Will take you down. We're not far now.
As you come out of the elevator, we will have a drop pod with a new weapon. This is the grenade launcher. I thought it was a variant of the chain shot, but it is not. The grenade launcher is unfortunately one of my lesser favorite weapons in the game. It does a lot of damage. The problem is a lot of enemies will often get in your face, and if you hit them with a grenade while they are close to you, the effect of the explosion will also damage you. It's a very quick and easy way to basically knock yourself out of a battle. It can be pretty useful if you're able to keep distance against enemies, or if you're in a one-on-one fight with an enemy that needs to basically take a lot of damage. It's easy to do a lot of damage output very quickly, but it's also very easy to basically just get through all of your health at the same time. Come down the hill, take out all of the enemies. There is a grapple point up and to your left. Make sure you use it. This will reveal a path that will link you back to where the grenade launcher was dropped for us. Here there is a gold chest we can take out for 50 more gold, a chain that we can link back to the grenade launcher, and then rejoin the story path. Hopefully you have the Bone Collector mission challenge all done. If not, the upcoming battle is your last chance to do it, unless you want to just replay the mission or a checkpoint. As you come around the corner here, we did pick up a couple pieces of gold. We'll take out all of the enemies here, but you can actually run past them, I think, into the next area. There is a point of no return. At the point of no return, we do have all of the secrets, gold, rubies, demonic essence, collectibles, and there is a life sigil underneath us if we need it as we drop down. Go ahead and just sprint into the next area to start the next and final arena of the level. For this arena, it can be pretty tough. There is a boss at the end of it. But for now, I'd recommend just taking out all of the enemies that are standing on the pillars. They almost work as turrets, and then there's also a couple of Hell Knights that will be just basically meleeing you up close all the time. So for now, we'll start with that, and then the boss automatically spawns in a cutscene after all of this stuff happens.
Hunter identified.
The Agaddon Hunter will spawn. Completing this boss fight for the first time also unlocks us an achievement or trophy. This is a gold shielded enemy, and it does have a couple of unique attacks and things, but it does have a shielded phase. The most important thing to do is to parry the attacks that it does have. I found that using a chain shot is actually pretty useful against this enemy type, as there are a lot of openings as soon as its shield drops. You can immediately hit it with a chain shot, then you can parry and hit it with another chain shot. It's basically just an easy way to speed up the battle, but here I will be using a little bit of a variety of weapons and making sure to time my parries as well. I do enjoy using the pin cushion ability of my Shredder when possible too. For this, there's just a little bit of waiting. I think if you are more close combat style, you'll end up baiting out more and more attacks that are parryable, versus me, who is trying to keep it more medium, long range. I do end up switching to the grenade launcher, as I mentioned earlier. I thought it was a good way to do a lot of damage in a one-on-one battle quite quickly. Take out the enemy. As soon as you do, the gate at the end of the level will open up. You can walk through to finish off the level, get your chapter complete, verify your 100% completion, and move on to the next one. You know the drill. Thank you for watching. Special thanks to everyone on Patreon for supporting the show. Peace.